Hey, this is Mustache John with Miami Nez, and we're coming for you, brother. We are gonna eat hash browns, and we're gonna walk on treadmills, and we're coming for everybody in the lobbies. We're coming for everybody. Oh man!
Oh man!
Hey, shout out to the man who takes all of our money in the lobbies. Neumy2's father, our internet father, T-Box, who is now coming for the content crown as well. Nez.
If you haven't seen T-Box on Twitter, just in general, like I don't know, everybody watching this definitely has. If you haven't, definitely follow and see his video today. Just so good, man. So fucking funny, man.
Dude, he just, I don't know where he comes up with the stuff, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's so on point. That's exactly what we needed today.
I love that he's just like leaning into the community aspect and just like leaning into we're all just in here playing together, having fun together. Like it was just like it stunned me. It stunned me. I did not expect to hear Miami Nez come out of T-Box's voice out of my phone speakers into my ears today.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, like it could. I mean, I'd like for us to take a little bit of credit here, but I love how the whole space has opened up, right? Like there was so much ambiguity before. It was so like everyone was kind of hush hush with their plays and whatever, and now everybody's posting their exposures, posting their whatever, trying to be part of the community every single day, whether it be the inside jokes or the best plays or the whatever. It's really cool to see like so many of these personalities, because this is truly a great community, and it's so cool to see all these personalities emerge. And we're going to see even more of it in Miami with, hopefully we're going to see some of the people that have remained faceless for so long. Hopefully we're going to see them appear. So yeah, pretty cool, man.
Yeah, no, shout out to the good people of our community. That is those good people,
those good people
of which we are friends with. Yeah, this is we've come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. As the people can see, we are back on the BadgeBros channel right now. Kind of like just an idea going forward that our Underdog Daily stuff, we tried the channel stuff, we've talked through, and it kind of just seems like everyone was in lockstep that the Monday, Wednesday, Friday stuff is just going to reside here from now on. So Off and On the Clock with Pete is going to be here as well. So we're going to do our best to continue to grow this channel and not negate the Underdog Daily one necessarily, but almost all of our content is going to reside here now. So yeah, and that plays even better if you feel so inclined to then become a member of said channel and get that sweet little dog, get that sweet little badge beside your names. There we go.
Yeah, very much what everybody is shooting for is to be that first 6-month member and get your red badge. We got to be coming close. Yeah,
I mean, thinking back some like the OG original ones, I mean, like definitely GA potentially going to get there. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who gets the red badge first. Love to see it. No. Just for what it is. No, nobody has fired anyone. No, nothing like that. It's literally just we are using the BadgeBros channel to help grow this channel for this program. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, just like a mutual decision that it just makes more sense to just throw everything on here. We appreciate Underdog like working with us and trying to and figuring things out as we go along. There's GA only at 3. That's
great. There we go. He's getting there. Nez, how's the hoop stuff going? I saw a little bit of the stream this morning. Were you on top of the Embiid stuff? Were you on top of the Giannis and the LeBron stuff?
Me, no. Everybody else, yes. I just crowdsource. Like, oh yeah, Giannis probable? He's not playing. No way. But that was all crowdsourced from like the geniuses that happened to hang out with us in the Discord. So no, wasn't necessarily like on top of it, but I fared out pretty well as far as my exposures were before all that news dropped. Still waiting on a lot more news to drop. So thankfully we can talk NFL and wait for some big items to come in before I finish blasting off at NBA.
Yeah, sounds good. If anybody happens to, I don't have my like notifications and stuff on right now. So the chat, fill us in if while we're talking football stuff happens on the other side. We got a little bit of football news before we hopped on here. Nico Collins saying he's going to play. I've been seeing some Noah Brown get drafted in these lobbies. Been seeing Tank Dell go almost every single time. Maybe reverse leverage on some of those guys in Nico Collins now suggesting he's gonna play. But let's zoom out. Let's zoom out from the slate. Pull up the place we always start with the game hub over there at Fantasy Life. Did I do it?
And a little bit of other news that just dropped. I got my noties on. Noti gang over here. It's related to what you were saying. Is Noah Brown did not practice today. It is Wednesday, but Noah Brown did not practice, and he really seems like has taken over that Nico Collins role. So
yeah, man,
this is setting up for some big time flop lag for Nico. And every time Nico has smashed, it's been when he's buried.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it was. I can't remember who I was listening to now. I think it might have been ETR when I was driving home yesterday, but everyone is so quick to throw so much shade at this like Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud thing and be like, oh yeah, like it's the weapons, like blah, blah, blah. Like, man, Stroud's been doing it with a guy who the Cowboys basically didn't even let on the field. He's doing it with an undersized 3rd round rookie. He's doing it with a 3rd year guy in Nico Collins who, was injured all of last year. Anyways, I just found that someone said that smarter than me, and I was listening to it the other day, and I was like, "Holy man! Like Stroud is balling, yeah."
I still make excuses for Young, but it's there's no debate right now who should have been 101.
Right, and now we can make more excuses because it's like, hey, we're flipping the play calling duties back now, and Frank Wright's gonna do the play calling stuff now, so everything's fixed for Carolina, right?
Totally fixed. Low key though, I mean, this isn't that is, I mean, I don't know if you want to start game position or whatever, but I don't know, man. Low key a spot that I think the Cowboys could be in a bit of a trap.
Oh, okay, that's a spicy place to start. I was gonna say, okay, let's get into let me do one overarching right now.
Okay.
It's a very different slate than we've seen in the past because the high implied team totals are not coming from the best game environments. Whereas in recent memory, the highest team totals have been associated with the highest scoring game environments, right? And last week it was like, what was that chalky afternoon hammer game? Well, it's going to be Lions and Chargers and high total, high whatever. On this slate, it's kind of like big outlying favorites in the Niners, the Cowboys, and Miami, but the game environments aren't so great. And then there's kind of like these pace up weird teams that look like fun games, but aren't as talented on paper teams. So like the Seahawks game, like the Lions Bears game, like the Texans Cardinals game.
Yeah, we've definitely got some pretty large spreads this week, and I would push back a little bit on the Bears and Lions spread. I think that's too much right now, and with Fields coming back, it's going to make a big difference. Even though we're supposedly not allowed to talk about Fields, we can't mush the Fields price. I guess we're not allowed to talk about that.
He's literally on the cover.
I know, oopsie daisy, but. No, I do think it makes it interesting. When we talk about setting up blowouts, but so much for the blowout risk last week, right? With Cowboys and Giants, like that literally became a blowout because good players scored points to make it
right.
How do blowouts happen? The anatomy of a blowout. So it can happen in different ways, obviously, but it makes you a little nervous and a little cautious when you see a 13.5 and an 11.5. Like it's warranted.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, definitely in lockstep there where it's kind of like it's funneling my builds to be super onslaughty from like a couple individual games and then super game specific with other types of builds. which means most of my builds end up looking similar to one another when I play it. So like if I play Miami, for instance, right? Well, like I probably take Tyreek in the first, Tua in the second, Waddle in the third, and then I'm done with that game environment, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Maybe
extremely concentrated, but I think that's appealing.
right. Yeah, I'm not suggesting it's not. I'm just suggesting that if I'm building 100 of these, they're all starting to look the same in my mind.
Yeah. I listed out like some players that I like across just like all the games, but yeah, it does seem to be a lot of these like at a lot of these spots that we're targeting do seem to be pretty concentrated. Which
I,
we've seen Miami not be concentrated, even though we like think about it as a concentrated offense too. So
yeah, I like for me, it was more of like I don't know how to articulate it then. It was like more of like just like a macro point in terms of like my builds funnel to the same, even if I like players from certain game environments. Because like last week we
okay,
were so heavy. Last week we were so heavy on like game environment. We were like, okay, this is a glorious run back week, is literally what we said. This week I only see like 2 or 3 games that I want to do that, and everything else is on slotty or one offs.
yeah, I sort of feel that. I've not
Yeah.
like I haven't done like a ton of drafts, right? I have drafted,
Mhm.
of course, but I haven't done like
Mhm.
a ton of drafts. But like right now, based on where prices are, like I agree with you, right? Like that,
Okay.
like my builds are looking like the exact same. But that's how I felt the last few weeks, and I was close, and I felt good about my process. So I'm not. I guess all that to say, like valid points. I'm not like too worried about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. Of the game environments, of the teams, of the plays that we're looking at, like just from the 30-foot lens right now, which have been your favorite to target, which teams, which whatever.
So I kind of it comes down to what like if we think that, like a game environment is sneaky or if we like the game environment and it's concentrated. So like just for example, I mean we talked about Las Vegas and Miami. Miami huge team total, and you can, confidently project at least, Tyreek, Tua, Waddle, and Achan coming back. You're not getting him at a discount. I mean, you can maybe say you are because maybe you think that Achan should be going in the first round, but
Mhm.
those guys are there for you if that's a game that you choose to target. And that just feels like really good, right? Like that's a huge total, very concentrated. I think that's like a 6-person lobby play, right? And now on the flip side, where if we're talking 12-person dog bowl, goal line stand, what have you, uh, we've got a lot of usable pieces in this Arizona and Houston game. We've got a lot of usable pieces in the Chicago Lions game. Like it's deep. It has potential for a shootout in both cases. And you can't possibly draft every single player, every single usable fantasy player in those matchups, but they offer us a lot of options. So those two right now, I think, are like my favorites as far as the 12-person slates go. For the 6-person slates, man, my player pool is just so incredibly concentrated. And I don't know that I want to make changes to that. I don't know if you
Okay.
feel similarly, if you've bounced around.
I've bounced around a little bit this week. I think some of my favorite things to do were like back end fields. I'm very glad that the Vikings aren't on this slate because it would have been so much like discombobulated galaxy brain. What do we do with JJ
Yeah.
and Hawks status? So glad that that wasn't a decision point when I looked at the slate initially. But the Bears stuff, I've been doing a lot of like last round fields. Been doing a lot of underpriced quarterback stuff this week, just because like I don't necessarily want to just ape in on the Herbert spot because I don't think the Herbert spot is as good as the market suggested is right now, especially with the Q tag with Keenan Allen. For the record, I think he plays this week, but
Yeah, they're calling him hopeful is the latest
yeah,
comment.
yeah. But I just look at like this slate and I go like, how do you differentiate in like the most logical fashion? And I think it's quarterback, tight end, skinnies again. And I think it's like the Sam Howells, it's the Justin Fields, it's the Kyler Murray's. Like, just get off of. I know Stroud's been incredible in throwing for 300 yards in damn near every game, and I know you want to be in on that Tua stuff. Man, just run Tyreek without Tua, and then get a skinny stack on the back end of some of these lower owned guys that have ceilings with rushing upside. That's kind of where I've been at.
Yeah, I like where your head's at. I think if you happen to get into a 6-person room and it's filled with people who watch this show or in our Discord, you're going to see quarterback get pushed really, really late. You're not going to see people reach on Tua for their Tyreek stack,
right.
Or, or maybe the Waddle stack or Dak or CJ for that matter. You're going to see a lot of people wait because, I mean, for the love of God, like Josh Allen is a 22 ADP and QB4 this week. I mean, you just don't need to, like, just everything that you said. You don't need to push up for a QB this week at all.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then that means, like, when you're going to chase your like Lamb plus Dak stuff, just push Dak as far as you can. You're going to do what you said and push that Tua stuff. Just push it, man. Tua's harder to push because the Waddle, drafter most of the time, whatever. But I have like a couple like Dak 6th round teams where it's just like the room decides to do something else. And then you just go, okay, I'm just going to go like Dak plus CD with my last overall pick. Like, it's pretty nasty like that.
Yeah. I would strongly advise doing the same.
Love it. There are like some kind of like sneaky game environments. You alluded to this Cardinals Texans one. It's going to be pace up. It's going to get steamed. It is going to be like slightly chalky-ish on our site. It's going to be very chalky on Redacted. But there are only certain pieces of it going, like Trout, Tank Dell, Schultz, McBride, basically every draft, like some combination of that. Nico Collins, like, get ahead of a little bit of leverage right now with that one. There's very little Marquise Brown and Kyler being drafted, which is fun. And then we saw James Conner return to like a full workload. And then Devin Singletary had 30 catches plus represents leverage off of the ownership of all those guys as well. And he's going undrafted almost every single time. Dame Pierce didn't practice today and they love him in these outside zone run schemes. Like, I don't know, maybe just mix him in.
30 touches, 30 rush attempts. You said you said catches at first. I mean, obviously people knew, but like
that'd be nasty.
That made the eyes pop out of the skull. But like 30 carries for little Devin Singletary is so funny.
Yeah, man. It just there's a reason they went out and got him, I guess. Like, they tried so hard to mix him in early too when Dame was there, and now all of a sudden it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe if he's not practicing on Wednesday, maybe just sit out another game there, and it's a great spot for him as well. Big question mark. We talked about kind of like the Fields discount right now, but big question mark with this game environment. We talked about the Lions' propensity to run in the red zone, the highest rushing attempt rate in the red zone this season. And now they have 2 running backs who both got home last week, who are now both inside like the top 15 or 16 in terms of ADP. What are we doing with Lions backfield here?
I'm kind of a Bears run defense respector a little bit, but I'm not so sure that that's something to weigh in too much into drafting, right? To make that so much of a factor. I mean, both of these dudes are running pretty pure. You're going to need touchdowns, of course. You're going to need touchdowns from any running back that you draft, most likely, unless they're Christian McCaffrey. 9.5 spread though, or -9 spread. Huge team total on the Lions. These guys are going to get home, but I'm not so sure that I'm like, I will probably fade Gibbs again, like I did last week. I think I would lean towards Montgomery. But I mean, that could end up biting me squarely in the ass once again. But I think I'm Monty in this matchup.
I'll say one thing about the usage split between those two when I was messing around with the utilization tool here and whatnot is they were basically trading drives this week, or last week rather. And prior to that, that wasn't the thing. They had like defined roles. Like, you know, it was like Gibbs from this area of the field. It was Montgomery at the goal line, blah, blah. Like, we saw those 2 goal line carries from Gibbs this week. those were on drives in which they just left Gibbs in, right? I don't know. Maybe now this flippening of roles and stuff makes you feel a little more confident in you maybe not pairing them together, but definitely a little more confident in the Gibbs opposed to the full fade when you see he's getting some of those goal line carries if he's left out there, right?
Yeah. I'm not so sure if that was just like Montgomery returning from injury
Sure.
and
Yeah.
using that as a way to like spell him, but they're clearly, it's a rookie running back. They're clearly ramping up the workload. So I just think, if they're gonna both be expensive, give me the cheaper one is what it
Yeah.
comes down to. Like I said, I am a Bears respecter, but like, man, oh man, these Lions just look like a machine offensively at home. I would say it's probably good money to not be scared of the Bears defense this week, but I'm just saying I've got something that has me like thinking that maybe this game goes under the total.
Okay. Well, the run defense has been stout, and we did talk about that on the showdown slate against the Panthers there. The way they have been beaten, though, is pass catching running backs. That has been, one of their Achilles heels is pass catching running backs because the front has been good. And for whatever reason, Carolina just failed to recognize that and didn't throw their running backs at all in that game. So it could be a kind of a nice spot. But long-winded way of me saying I like Gibbs more than Montgomery this week.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but this is an interesting one. Bright Jr. saying here that Gibbs said Monty gave him one of the touchdowns. That's kind of dope. I didn't see that quote. That's cool.
Huh. Good on you, Monty, but maybe don't do that anymore. I've got you in too many spots.
Oh man. There's a couple games and teams I think we can just write off this week. Adam Thielen's ADP is broken. I think he's worth, that 6th round price tag right now, just based on what we saw earlier in the year, especially when Frank Wright was calling plays. But then also something that Josh Norris brought up on Twitter recently is they played a lot slower when he was calling plays. So that doesn't bode well for the offense, like just in general. But I was just like, he's kind of one of my scroll the F down guys right now because he was a 1st round pick 3 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden, they're going to be trailing for sure and chasing points here. Like maybe we should be mixing him in, especially as a run back. But I think Carolina, you can almost write off on this slate. The Browns, now that Deshaun's out, you can kind of just write off maybe this entire game. You can just write off because the Browns haven't given up more than 75 yards to a running back this season, period. So I'm not sure I want to touch anyone on the Steelers there. So I think you can write that game off. I think you can write the Giants off unless you want to get cute with 6th round Saquon. Yeah, I mean Bucs, I'm almost writing off. Jets are kind of sneaky because Bills' defense is really bad. I think you can mix in like Wilson and Hall late there, especially with Michael Carter now being relieved of his duties. Maybe Breece Hall sees an uptick in the pass catching role there. Anyways, just me saying I'm writing off aspects of this. Are you in lockstep with writing off games and players, teams?
Some of these, yeah. I think there's definitely good reason to be not excited about Browns and Steelers, but I guess boots on the ground is that I think that maybe Jerome Ford is someone that is like has dog bowl consideration. Just because if they're going to do anything, it's probably going to run, and I still think the Steelers are a little vulnerable on the ground. Their linebackers are banged up. Minka has not practiced yet. So there is a chance that Jerome Ford gets a lot of work this week and or Kareem Hunt, but that's just like a very, very deep sleeper play. That's not in 6-person consideration for me. Cool. Yeah, it's hard to trust Amari Cooper with DTR back there. So I'm with you on there. And then the Bucs and Niners, I'm like not writing off Evans and Godwin.
Yeah,
I still think that they have the ability to get home in fantasy matchups and likely to be playing from behind. I think this game goes over that total because I think the Niners are going to just destroy the Bucs. But I think the Bucs can play a little catch up though. So I'm excited about that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the usage play run back of my favorite is actually Rashad White. I just think, man, they even when they're trailing, they always establish it. Basically, he doesn't get home last week if it's not for breaking off a 56-yard dump off or whatever it was, little screen past the left side of the field, and he just takes it the whole way completely untouched. Man, they're just relentless with his usage. And last week, they basically saw Keyshawn Vaughn inactive, and Chase Edmonds was basically the only other guy out there, and he didn't factor in nearly at all. So, I mean, if you're giving me 80% of running back touches from, I mean, especially a pass catching one in a trailing script, I'm definitely going to have White in my player pool this week as well.
Yeah, pretty good shout there. His ADP right now for Mr. White is 35.9, so it's just like buried back there. Pretty good shout with Rashad, but yeah, these Niners I think are gonna go off.
Copper also saying that bottom 5 run defense and EPA versus rush, like that's pretty solid metric there. They have also though been a little banged up and now have added Chase Young, so I don't know if that's as perfect a comp now, but like they're definitely improved from just like an overarching metric, but that's a good shout there. And then one off Mike Evans. Yeah, man. Like Mike Evans would be going in every single draft this week if he had scored the touchdown at the 1 yard line 2 weeks ago, and if he hadn't dropped the most wide open touchdown in the history of football last week, because those box scores would be absolutely popping. Like those box scores for Mike Evans for the last 3 of the last 4 weeks would look similar to like CeeDee Lamb level, and people would just have to click his name. And now you're kind of getting a discount in a trailing script. So I do think maybe I was a little quick on writing off that aspect of that game.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it wasn't like until like a few weeks ago where I just thought the Niners defense was a no-go and just do not play anybody against them. And then I saw like one team get home, and now I'm like, all right, it's open season. Anybody going against them. So I could be too quick to think that there's vulnerabilities.
Yeah, but you might be right about that, because look what they did last week to Jacksonville. Everybody was taking ATN in the second round over and over again, and then everybody was like, hey, let's get cute with some of their pass catchers on the back end, and they put up 3 effing points, right? So it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe your thesis was right there, Nez, and maybe we're overcompensating.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but also like Bucs and Jags in a game. What's the spread there? Like if they're neutral site
facing one another.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
We're the odds makers, man. I would say 4.5 to Jacksonville.
Neutral site. Yeah, I think you're right.
Like
I guess you forget that.
Not obviously.
Yeah, like Jags were 6-2 going into last week. Like it's kind of crazy.
They're frauds, man. They're freaking frauds.
Man, they Trevor Lawrence has thrown for 2 touchdowns in 1 game this season. Played 9 football games, and they're 6-3, and he's thrown for 2 touchdowns 1 effing time. Like, I don't know. You want to talk about fun pass funnel, get right spot where nobody's ADPs are being touched outside of ATN. I don't know. Maybe there's some contrarian ownership in the Jags in the 6-person contest this week.
You know what's the problem with Trevor Lawrence? No Zay Jones. Dude is just not the same quarterback without his buddy Zay Jones.
It's fair. Everything that we like about Zay Jones being out hasn't come to fruition. So maybe we just need Zay Jones to be back in. Something happened with him this week. Like he got arrested or something on Monday.
Oh, Zay? Are you sure?
Yeah, but I think it's not like a big deal. I think it was like something weird happened though.
Kyrie Irving ruled out, by the way.
Fuck.
Fuck. Hoops.
I thought he was a good play, man. But I don't know. That was kind of transparent against the Wiz, man. Like it's just kind of like, like just set everyone about it. Yeah, it was like this domestic. We don't like him anymore. Yeah, Chris G filling us in. He did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're out on Zay. We're Christian Kirk guys.
I can't believe that was like so buried that went like completely under my radar. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's probably by design. I mean, like,
unreal. Man.
Our boy Wu-Tang Kill be suggesting the Godwin game is coming. I sure
Ooh,
hope so.
I can't believe Match is giving out free alpha like that. Like, dude's never wrong and just telling us what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. I mean, thank you.
Yeah. Gobbler suggesting Kyle Trask better than Baker. I don't think Baker's been bad this year. Like I think Baker's actually played pretty well.
I'm impressed with what
Yeah.
Baker's done. I mean, I thought he was going to be benched already.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the check downs over and over again that pushed them out of contention of that Island game, who was that against? When we had the Mike Evans
I know what you're talking about.
on
Was
the
that
ship
Bills?
chasing Bills? Yeah.
Was
Might
it?
have been Bills? I don't know. Feels like it was Bills. Yeah, because we had Khalil Shakur on the other side. Yeah, it was Bills on Thursday night.
Yeah, and that was a
Yeah. And he just checked down himself out of contention. Eric, this is fantasylife.com. Matthew Berry's website there. Pete Overzet does a bunch of stuff for them as well. They've assembled a really nice team over there. And they got all sorts of stuff. This and then the utilization stuff that is like from PFF that we just go ahead and click through here. Some incredible tools. Just go over and F around. It's great.
all free, baby.
All free, man. It's just you can't beat it in terms of free resource now. Like we used to use a lot of like the roto grinder stuff and that sort of deal. And man, this is just beautiful to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else to say? Macro games, blah, blah. Island games are kind of nice this week for those 2 gamers and 3 gamers that they're going to fire out there. They're going to be kind of fun, like if you get this Bengals Ravens slate coupled with the Q tag disaster and the rejuvenated Broncos there, and then you get Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. Those are fun 3 Island games.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I wish we got a little bit of these on our main slate, but alas, I will say, man, this Chiefs Eagles total, I cannot believe that it's not like 53.
They're respecting the defenses. Both teams coming off a bye, right?
Eagles defense is so trash.
I don't know. Pass rush. But yeah, their secondary is bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. And it's not like they have like the best quarterback we've ever seen in our generation on the other side. So like
that's fair.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You're right. You're right. It is kind of low. It does seem low. You're right.
We'll make some pick'ems around that game soon. But just to wrap up the main slate, Seahawks and Rams, I think is a lot of fun. I will say many, many moons ago, I declared the Seahawks as a very underrated, very, very good defense.
Yeah,
it's looking to be correct. The secondary is still like slightly sus, but I still think that the Seahawks defense is good. However, when I'm playing fantasy, I think that they are still susceptible to big games from the opposing team. And we have, if that does hold true, we've got Cooper Kupp sitting outside the top 5. We've got Puka Nacua sitting at ADP 26. They have who the hell is their running back right now? Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman. They're not going to run the ball. Stafford is fully healthy and practicing. These 2 wideouts, I think, are just like the best thing, some of the best values going at the wide receiver position. Really love that. And then on the Seattle side, I mean, these Seattle dudes are free too. This is a 46 game total, 1 point spread. This game's going to be tight. It's going to be back and forth. This is apparently, I didn't think it would be sneaky. This was like a sneaky awesome spot for us.
Yeah. And it's weird that the highest ADPs, like obviously Kupp goes, but the highest ADP after that is actually Puka, then Walker. So it's kind of like this weird, I'll just pull it up here. Share that one instead. Perfect. So like instead of going and playing that game in that variety, why don't you just scroll a little bit and make some back stacks with like Lockett or something like that? I mean, even Metcalf low-key free right now. So yeah, I do like that shout, especially in terms of price point.
Thank you. We've got a flash sale for Luca, so I'm like,
oh, you're taking a peek here?
I am. We only have I think we should do a very quick detour.
Okay. detour into the old pick'em lobbies here. Amon-Ra's got a freebie too.
That's fun. Yeah.
You can't put them together though.
No, we cannot.
Okay, so this Luka, I don't know, 25.5. Okay, fine. It's the Wiz. I'd much prefer it if it was like PRA.
It's not even, yeah, I know. It's like really only 25.5, but it's the Wiz, and it's like a 244 total. So we're okay with that.
Huh.
What are
any other magic to? Do you have any other magic in the hoops tonight? I'll tell you who my favorite plays are. How about that? Because you did the show earlier. I'll tell you who some of my favorite plays are. Scotty Barnes by like a landslide. Pascal a little bit because I think he'll get like a little bit more ball handling duty with Schroeder and OG out. OG is actually doubtful and not like out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was leaning into those two. I was leading into Shaden Sharp and Grant a little bit. I like that side of the Blazers.
That's funny.
Blazers usage stuff. I like at the top. I liked AD a lot.
Okay. AD. Oh dang it! I just completely mushed my special.
What?
I put it so like I like to do like just 2 with these like freebies and just like take the money. And I paired it with LeBron, who's a game time decision.
Yeah. Who could have seen the LeBron Q coming?
Nobody. Certainly not us. Yeah. So I don't know. You can actually make do with yours if you would like to, but
so you tried to. Okay, so you literally did that, like while we were talking.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Why didn't you just tell me which ones to do?
Well, because like if you look at LeBron, he has a double higher lower, but it's like he also has 8.5 rebounds and like 7.5 like assists. So like I was doing.
You're just clicking buttons, aren't you?
I thought the lower on a LeBron double was really smart.
But okay, tell me what else this one. Okay, what Scotty stuff? I kind of like that.
Can't do a spice with the spesh. 14.5 reboards and assists. Like it's just what he does.
Yeah, that feels good. Scotty. Who else did I say I liked from? I liked the Blazers.
All right, let's do some Blazers.
Grant, Aiden. I mean, like Shaden's my favorite. I like this. Take that in a heartbeat.
I will tell that without Luka because I messed up.
We're gonna bang 2 more in here.
Oh, we're not done.
We're not done. When hoops was already.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, Gafford. Okay, let's see what we got with this Gafford. Gafford feels all right.
Yeah, Gobbler saying that he likes Gafford. Dallas is a rebound funnel.
Yeah. What do we like? Just straight up boards?
Probably, right?
Yeah, that feels good. That does feel really good. Boards feels good. All right, what's the last one to add here, chat?
What about what's Dame stuff looking like?
Oh, that's a good shout. Oh. Points, assist. I don't love it.
I would do points if anything, but
I'd actually do threes made if I did.
That was second for me, I will say. So maybe we do threes.
And we can't do teammates with Siakam and Barnes, right?
No, you can.
Let me see. Oh, that's actually kind of a fun spice double with the 2 there.
Jaylen Brown ruled out, so I get another shot at a
dude. Okay. Drew,
these things are getting pulled down. Hurry up! You better hurry. You got to pull something off and then put him on.
Assists, right?
All right, yeah, 10. 10's max.
Oh shit.
KP too? Did I miss the KP?
Oh my god, assists are gone. Neumy.
That shit is automated. I'm apparently KP out as well. All right.
Oh man, that was lightning quick.
All right, Dame was meant to be. Oh, they've got. I actually like the fantasy points for Tatum.
I kind of
There's
like
your boy Drew
now. Yeah, I kind of like it better there. All right, locked and loaded. Took away our assists, but we still got it in. Okay. It's Scotty Barnes and Shaden Sharp night. That's my call. That's that's what I'm doing tonight.
Shaden Sharp is going to be in like every team of mine because he's going to be my number one swap.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's Chalkzilla then, eh?
The guys over at other websites that do NBA shows were talking about like the anatomy of chalk and like have we, and it kind of makes sense, you know, have we gone full circle on chalk where like chalk can never be owned enough because good plays are good plays?
That's true in hoops. Like for sure in hoops. Like
what if,
like ownership doesn't matter nearly as much as people think it does in hoops. But
that's where I like disagree. I think it still does. Like range of outcomes are like, yeah, we can project better, but range of outcomes are still what they are. And if the field is overestimating like a right end of a range of outcome, then it becomes a good play to not play that player.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
Unless you're looking at like a you know, but that's redacted. That's a more redacted conversation. So
yeah, it is more of a redacted conversation.
All right. Surprise.
Neumy saying we have a surprise. Okay, where is said surprise located?
In the lobby. Go ahead and post that in the. Oh, you already did. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I posted that in there. Holy smokes, we got some hoops to be filling here.
We've got timers. Guys. Oh Jesus, I might have to get the button clicker out.
Yeah, do some on your phone there. I'm looking. Oh, baby. Look at how clean that looks in the lobbies there.
Oh, come on, son.
Holy smokes.
Expand that real quick.
We're going full zoom mode.
I mean, just click on the contest one time.
Oh my.
Give us a little scrolly. How much rake are the bros taking this week?
Oh man, we honestly, if you're gonna put up a BadgeBros brawl, you're probably gonna be stuffing your pockets with rake, right? All the rake from this contest, guys, comes to us directly to us.
Into our pocket.
Into our pockets, baby. Oh man. Yeah, here we go. Does winner get a third seat on the show? Winner of BadgeBros brawl, if they want winner's circle on Monday, gets priority over a Miami. How about that? If you win this week, you get priority to come on the show on Monday.
Wow. Yo, You heard it here first, folks. Wow.
That it looks beautiful, doesn't it, Matt? That looks beautiful. Little BadgeBros right in the middle there. Gobbler saying more Celtics out. Whom else was out there?
I think they were just talking about KP because I only got the J Brown note.
Who is KP? Zinger?
Yeah. He's KP, man.
KP. All right. Okay, I just hopped in, Nez. We could do the scrolly F down stuff after. Oh my god, look who's in here.
DMC and Crash Rich?
Oh man.
This is so iconic.
Crash Rich wants he wants the appearance, man. He wants the appearance on the show so bad. This funnels into a question that the Gobbler had there for us. who is your 101 this week between Reek, CMC, etc.?
CMC.
Yeah.
Don't really have to think too hard about that one personally.
Yeah, I think Tyreek has like the highest ceiling in all of football, except for maybe Christian McCaffrey. And like, dude, this is like a floor game for CMC, 17 points. And they brought him back in when the game was like out of contention to try and continue the touchdown streak for him. So like his floor game is 17. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, like that's where I'm at, man. It's just like this dude can do no wrong. I mean, like what do you say about a guy like that?
All right, with the inaugural selection in the first ever rake-free BadgeBros Battle Brawl, what was it? BadgeBros Brawl. We select Christian McCaffrey.
Thank you, sir.
Get him the hat. Get him the hat with the logo on it. What number is CMC wearing? Yeah.
23 now?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. This can't keep up with this. We knew this was going to be a crazy day. I don't even know why I even bother talking about hoops today.
Yeah.
Nothing is the same. Literally everything's changed.
Carlos saying, should I be excited about 5th round Braun? Or did he get ruled out?
Shit. Hell yeah.
Eckler goes there. We talked about the Cup one. We haven't talked about Diggs yet. Diggs versus Sauce Gardner after like a little bit of squeaky wheel narrative, plus the OC change. I think this for me right now is Cup as one of them.
Yeah,
and then too. you could twist my arm into anybody else.
Okay.
Should we start scrolling
already? I mean, it's hard to scroll past this tier, is it not?
I mean, I like Keenan Allen more than I like Diggs, like just for what it's worth.
I mean, for me,
this week,
I'm Team Achane.
Okay, let's do it then. All right. I like some of the running back stuff late, and we haven't talked position by position. We'll do that right after. But yeah, I think I like some of the taking Ayuk there. Crash Rich has been all over Ayuk. I've been watching this all week.
I mean,
I'm taking Ayuk at like 13 and stuff like that.
I agree with them. I think the Niners are primed to explode this slate.
Yeah, and I mean, they exploded last week too, but the problem is it's like even when they get home, it's like who does it funnel through, right? Like who was in the optimal from that last week? None of them, but all of them smashed, right? Like Ayuk had 14 points, Debo's had a touchdown and whatever, Kittle had 19 points, Purdy had 31 and it still didn't matter. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, they're easier to click in dog bowls where like in 12-person contests, if like none of them smash, but each of them put up like 15, then like you can use 15 points in a dog bowl lineup for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, probably a better dog bowl one there. But hey, look at this. 2 sharp players going back to back to the well with the San Fran stuff there. We're at wide receiver, tight end. I mean, Diggs and Keenan Allen come back to us if we want to go that route again, or are we scrolling to that DK Metcalf kind of range here and getting weird?
I could get weird with some DK or Debo, but we already
Let's
have.
Let's go with Metcalf.
Yeah, we already
Let's
have.
Let's go DK. McCaffrey. We talked how the explosion game's finally coming at some point. Man, he's 1 for 11 on contested catches this year. So gross. And then our quarterback most likely going to be stacked with our tight end then?
Most likely.
Let me sell you this pen.
Sold.
Let me sell you this pen.
I'll take it.
Justin Fields with the Komet Mini.
John, the pen's already mine. I've already signed. I've already taken possession of the pen.
Already signed away. There you go. Crash Rich in here in a 3-person lobby with only badged up quote unquote sharp players going Kyler Murray there with all the other quarterbacks on the board. Freaking love it, man. I love it.
That's pretty awesome.
It's awesome. It's good, man.
I mean,
this is what happens when you do these rooms, man. The drafting's more fun.
Yeah, and I have no like I don't think that's a bridge too far either. I saw all I needed to see was that one overhead view of Kyler scrambling and like,
right.
So I'm so back in.
Just remind everybody that he can run 70 yards to gain 30.
Light work.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Yeah, and there you go. Crashwich does exactly what we were talking about with the game environment play of just pairing Kyler with Trey McBride there. You love to see it. So many good players left on the board. I think for me, this is just instantly a Cole Kmet stacking job, but you could sell me on a run back of Laporta.
Yeah, that's the only other tight end that I'm thinking here. But we got to stack it up because
let's stay true to the brand.
Yeah, Kmet to Fields is a tale as old as time, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, like Aladdin or some shit. Oh man, beautiful stuff. Love to see it in the lobby. Rake free contest here. 11 gamer, almost 7,000 entries there. 3K to first. Just a beautiful structure, and love to see the good people at the platform of the people. Shout out Neumy, Hope, Oaks, all the good people involved in draft games. While I'm at it, hey, follow the new account. Going to be giving updates when new contests go live. There's a new Twitter account at Underdog Drafts. So go ahead and make sure you're following that, because every time someone posts something new in the lobby, it will be then shared there. So you'll know, even if you're not staring at your phone 24 hours a day looking for new stuff to pop up, you'll be able to see it. All right, we got another flash sale, a Tatum one. Now they're just roping us in here with these good plays after good plays. Luka flash, Tatum flash. Holy smokes!
Yeah, that's...
Neumy's not wrong. Neumy's not wrong.
Hey man, RIP Connor Hayward season, because Freiermuth is back. So hurts my soul.
Yeah, Freiermuth. There's another one to talk about there. Ben, we will try our best not to max it tonight, but no rake is very enticing, especially if a contest is this size, because we did the rake goes to charity one for the first ever BadgeBros brawl in the past there. And yeah, I mean, like, that filled instantly. And now you add the fact that there's no rake. Oh man, this thing might be filling rapid fire. So love that. Yeah, True Influencer 101. Nathaniel, are you loading some side drafts right now?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Where do you want to take the show next?
I want to talk. I just kind of want to do position by position and do some of the scroll downs associated with it, and then either do probably just another one of these BadgeBros or another BR or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe as hoops news breaks, we can kind of talk about swap options or whatever there. Did we get the Embiid news yet?
Game time decision.
Yeah, he's not playing. He did this a lot last year, though, and then did end up playing. And every time I was like, he's not playing. But
so where I'm at on Embiid, just real quick, is like, this is a page out of like your book where, he sees the other team, like one star sees other stars rest, and Brown's sitting and Kate and Porzingis is sitting. That makes me think that he's going to sit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But maybe he wants an MVP. I don't know. Not getting it.
Zinger knows. Yeah, Zinger knew from the jump, right?
Yeah, dude.
I don't understand this reference from Explicit. I haven't seen Super Troopers in a long time.
Who's Farva? Which one?
I don't know.
Me? John? You? Maybe he's talking about you.
Probably. If it's insulting, it's probably directed at me.
You can't say anything negative about me.
No, you can't. You're too handsome.
I'll cry.
I'll cry.
Don't want to make you cry.
All right,
screen, bro.
Okay, let's go position by position. I think quarterback's really interesting this week because they're all pushed down, and it's kind of like pick your poison with stacks. I think if we saw a projection model come out today, tomorrow, whatever, I think Josh Allen will be the number one projected quarterback on. I think he'll be the number one projected quarterback on ETR when projections come out in 3.5 hours.
It will be Allen and then Tua. And they will be separated by maybe a point or two. And then after that, maybe then it'll be Stroud or Dak, but Josh Allen's going to project as a top 2 QB. I don't know that people haven't really been like reacting too much to projections in these drafts, which I think is like kind of cool.
Yep.
And a little interesting. Sorry if you can hear the sirens in the background. I don't know what's going on outside.
They're coming for you and Zay Jones, buddy.
Hey, don't lump me in with him. Yeah, no, the thing that I think is really interesting about Josh Allen is that he's running more. And they just fired their OC. So maybe old Joe Brady's going to say, hey, Josh, we're not trying to get fired around here. Things go well when you run. So, yeah, we need you to do the old battery ram thing again and Rushmore. So
this is evergreen.
Thank you, GA.
I honestly, Joe Brady was regarded as like hella sharp when he was coming out of LSU there. And, what did he do there? Super high octane air attack, play fast offense, which is like a lot of effing fun, right? Obviously didn't work out with the Panthers, but these OCs are kind of just like scapegoats now. And it's very interesting that I'll ask you, where are the Bills in offensive DVOA this year? Where are they ranked? They just had their offensive coordinator fired.
Are they like 8th? They're top 10.
They're 3rd. Like, it's kind of nuts, man. Like, if they don't take a bad 12-man on the field penalty and a pass interference flag, they're like they win instead of losing by a field goal, and he probably still has a job. And none of those things are the offensive coordinator's fault.
I agree with you, dude. I don't get it. Man. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But back to these QBs. Mm-hmm. As far as scroll downs go, I mean, Kyler, Fields, like this is shaping up to be week 10 deja vu where like I'm going to have like no Tua, no Dak, and no Stroud because Fields, Murray, like I'm going to have a Niner in almost every lineup. Purdy immediately becomes like stackable for me in every draft then. Sam Howell?
Yes, absolutely. He's definitely on my list. I'm very glad you said that. I don't know who the hell to stack him with anymore because we just saw
this pass-catching running back Brian Robinson, of course.
Yeah, right. Like we saw Antonio Gibson catch a touchdown. We saw Brian Robinson catch a touchdown. We saw 119 yards on the ground or in the air rather from Brian Robinson. I have no idea who to skinny stack him with, but in dog bowls and or here, Sam Howell spreading it around enough versus a defense who's given up more than 40 multiple times this year and just gave up 49 to the Cowboys. Let's just go with like up-tempo throwing the ball. Sure, he's going to spread it around. Maybe just naked Sam Howell in the 6th round.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw them get torched by the Cowboys, and we know that the Commanders just throw the shit out of the football. I don't know. Before we'll I guess Brian Robinson is definitely like the most appetizing part of that team, but we'll get to running back later. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of scroll down options at QB. A little bit of an evergreen statement when we don't have any of the studs, but Josh Allen being QB4 is just hilarious.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think he's going to project the best. I am scared of the Jets defense, like just in a vacuum, but not enough so to like. I know Josh Allen makes a lot of mistakes and he throws a lot of interceptions. That's not necessarily that bad for fantasy purposes, right?
It's not bad for fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a home run hitter that strikes out a lot in baseball.
Right. Yeah. Great analogy. Perfect analogy. Justin Herbert, I've been doing a little bit of the stack stuff with. I told you guys the Dak one fell to the last round for me a couple times there. I actually really like quarterback this week. We said we liked the game environment. Stafford's ceiling is just so capped even when these wide receivers get home, like he just doesn't get home because he doesn't run at all. And he literally needs 5 touchdowns and you have to have him tethered to his pass catcher. He's like a stack only guy for me. I probably won't have any staff this week. Gino kind of similar and Trevor Lawrence kind of similar, but I'm more likely to go there than to staff. Outside of that, I saw Gobbler say Aiden O'Connell in the chat. I won't get there, but maybe in a dog bowl. that's sneaky enough for people there. Jordan Love's going to be really popular on Redacted as like a punt quarterback, just because what the Chargers have been allowing, like they're a pass funnel right now. So I don't know, maybe you can get there in these contests, and that's like a contrarian path with like him and Christian Watson in the 5th and 6th round, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Love apologist, but I'm not going to be doing that a lot. But I think that if you came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to do a Galbrain Jordan Love stack in a dog bowl," I'd say, "Yeah, you have my stamp of approval."
Yeah. Okay. Any other one you want to mention before we go here? Like Purdy had the really nice game last time out. Only results in 23 fantasy points. Like he spreads it around just like so much, and so much has to go right for him to be optimal quarterback.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot. I mean, maybe not a lot, but like I'm gonna have some Purdy. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for him to be optimal for sure. But like we just talked about how like the top QB plays are not very attractive picks. There's a chance QB doesn't separate. Tampa Bay seems to love when people pass against them. So,
gun to your head right now, favorite quarterback on the slate, ADP adjusted.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, likewise. I'm glad you said that. Justin Fields for me as well. Let's move on to the running back position. We kind of talked about the Detroit stuff being a little murky in the middle here. There are some back end guys that I like, but I think it's a really clear kind of like top 2. I have Austin Eckler at 4 in my rankings, CMC at 1 in my rankings. Actually, sorry, I have Austin Eckler at 3. I had CMC, Tyreek, Eckler, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, like that. Which means I'm kind of accidentally fading CeeDee Lamb, so maybe I have to amend that in some regard. But then the ceiling of Achane, we didn't even talk about the fact that they're coming off of a bye and Mostert has a Q tag. That does not bode well for Mostert, but there was some interesting Coach Speak stuff. Coach Speak Index retweeted it this afternoon on just McDaniel's talking about Achane and how he doesn't want to like give away his usage, but he was running past guys in practice and he's ready to go and blah, blah, blah. It sounded so effing bullish, but yeah. Anyways, I think Achane's next for me. Nez, any comments on the upper tier?
CMC 101, like we just drafted. I think Eckler is number 3 for me as well. I mean, I know he is because Tyreek is number 2. It's hard for me to take Eckler over Tyreek, but Eckler is an awesome pick this week. I would love to have a lot of him. And then I think I'm Achane over Gibbs as well. Yeah, and then after that, that's where things get pretty murky for me.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree that like things get weird now because I think pass catching running backs fare better against Chicago. We think their run defense is underrated, but we do think David Montgomery is going to go back to kind of like that goal line-y role. So you can kind of, guess between this. No, it's not fun to run on the Titans for anyone, and ATN's coming off a bad game, but the usage is just there and it's always going to be there. So if he falls to the 3rd round, I'm comfortable clicking his name. Ken Walker, without the 65-yard reception that happens at the very end of that game, was having a very bad game. He was 19 for 60, did not look very good. So, I mean, you could poke holes in all of this. I actually think like vaulting this tier, I like Gibbs more than you do. I kind of have Gibbs at 4 there. Vaulting this tier, I think Josh Jacobs is the most mispriced running back on the slate, and I think I really like him this week.
Yeah, I'm Tony redacted over Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
But Jacobs is for sure undervalued.
Nez, when's the last time Tony redacted scored a touchdown? Can you inform me?
Week 1.
Week 1. Oh my God. So much pain. So much money.
What you're literally telling me is that he's
no. Don't say it. What you're telling me is he's a positive regression candidate.
I think what you're trying to say is that his expected fantasy points would indicate that he's a screaming buy. Let's play a game.
Let's
play a game.
Okay.
ETR projections come out. You sort by running back and redacted half point PPR scoring. Mm-hmm. You see Tony Redacted ranked blank.
4 or 5. Yeah, 5. Yes, he's going to be projecting very well again. He's this year's Joe Mixon, man, and that 4 or 5 touchdown game is going to come and break a slate, and then we're going to hate him again. He is this year's Joe Mixon. It's the most perfect comp ever.
Do you want to hear a hot take?
Okay. Number 2. You think he's right behind CMC? You think he projects better than Austin Eckler this week?
Yes.
Wow. Green Bay gets cooked, man. Huh.
Dude, this is... How many times do we have to talk about the Panthers just being the nut run funnel?
Yeah, they are. They definitively are. It's just Dallas is not ran. Like, they haven't ran effectively.
Well, they run. They only call in the playbook for Tony Redacted as halfback dive.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, have you looked at the guy? That's not his game.
Right. It's crazy to see. Fuck, I hate talking about him so much. It's crazy just to see how poorly they've ended up using him when we were all just so excited about his break the mold potential. He's the best handcuff in football for years. He's the best. It's just crazy that Dallas is inept when they run, when it's a known running situation. And then they're so good for their secondary backs, because you're seeing it with Rico this year, where it's like when they bring him in as change of pace, like the change of pace guys always have success.
It's weird, right? Like, just the context mattering that much.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's breaking my heart right now.
I know.
I wonder.
Bullet, man. You can't fade him this week. You can't fade him this week, right?
Well, Clay brings up my thesis right now, like that we talked about last week, whereas like they get up by 14 and then it just becomes Rico season, and then it's like, what is a good Tony Pollard game script? Good Tony Pollard game script is just like he scores on the first drive. Like what is a good Tony Pollard game script?
It doesn't exist.
I know. It's so much pain. So much pain. I think. All right, I'm looking at ETR's rankings right now, because sometimes if you go to their Battle Royale, well, that neither are out yet.
I was gonna say,
but when they update the back end prior to like 5 p.m., things slowly trickle in. So I look at the rankings a little bit, and it's not a perfect representation, and don't hold them to it, right? Because it's updating in the background. But as of right now, they have Tony Pollard behind 2 of my scroll the F down favorite guys at running back, like 7 or 8. So we'll see. They have Dak as the number 1 quarterback.
I feel like that's ADP adjusted.
Oh, they have Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback. Sorry. The color is just not there. Anyways. I think I don't think it's ADP adjusted, to be honest. I've asked
the Tony Pollard rank.
Yeah, I've asked about like the ADP like rank adjusted stuff, and I haven't. I don't know. But this isn't definitive yet, because it's not done. They haven't finished their upload. This is just like that cheeky sneak peek before the upload of all the projections comes. So it's bullshit right now, but it's just interesting to look at.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because it literally says like right here at the top, like nothing official until 5 p.m. Oh. So, okay. Anyways.
NBA is not going to overlay Chip.
Are we saying we got to save Neumy2's job?
Yeah, it's not going to overlay, but
no.
People were just waiting for this news.
Yeah, it was a weird slate with news-wise. And I mean, we still haven't got it, right? Because we're not going to get LeBron stuff till after lock. Yeah, it's going to overlay. I'm sorry to say, Nez. 75% right now, 29 minutes. It'll get to 92 or 93.
You're going to see 96.
96? Okay. All right. Okay, some of my favorite scroll the F downs so far. Breece Hall. I think Michael Carter leaving matters. that opens up some of that little dump off potential for him to stay on the field for third down. And that Bills defense is depleted. And I think he's kind of like game script proof. Aaron Jones is another one that I've been clicking. And Devin Singletary, who I alluded to earlier, with Pierce not practicing again today and a little bit of leverage off of all the high owned Houston stuff. Hey, let's just go to the guy who got 30 carries last week. Those have been three for me thus far. How about you?
For me, it's like a screaming, and I mean screaming, Brian Robinson Jr.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're just looking at that Giants matchup and you're just going, F these guys 3 on the ground.
I'm a simple man. Yeah, I look at bad teams and I look at box scores. And if you look at Brian Robinson's box score, it looks pretty fucking good. And the matchup looks fantastic. I mean, this is the only, this could be like the only way that Sam Howell doesn't end up throwing like 40 times is because Brian Robinson is just gashing the shit out of them. Antonio Gibson has not practiced. I'm not sure if I said that yet. So
I had not heard, you didn't say that yet, so I hadn't heard that. So that's really good news there, because that really secures his 100-yard receiving floor, right?
Take that pass catching competition. He is look at me. I'm the pass catcher now.
Oh man. James Conner and Rachaad White were two that we mentioned earlier. Conner came back to a really healthy workload, and basically nobody else in that backfield showed anything in his absence. That Arizona team might be vastly improved with just him and Kyler coming back, and the emergence of Trey McBride not running the corpse of Zach Ertz over him anymore. It's not Derek Sember. How do you say the
Dehember? Didn't they? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, Dehember. It's not Dehember yet, is it?
It might not. We might not ever get Dehember this year.
Ooh, Dehember. Is Christmas canceled? Dehember's canceled?
Yeah, and the Grinch is coming in the form of Tyjae Spears.
Ooh, nice. Well said.
Thank you. I think he represents like a good pick.
Okay.
Like, would you agree? I think like if there's anybody that can just like Derrick Henry is obviously in line for a stinker and pretty much every matchup that he's in, but like he's just like I don't know how to describe him, dude. It's just like you just don't know what you're gonna get with Derrick Henry. He can give you 102, 150 and 2, no matter the matchup, just because of the way that he gets home, and he gets home in the big ass plays.
Yep, absolutely. Like if he just went 202 this week, we would not be shocked. Is it something you can project for or be over the field on? I don't think so in this spot, but it might be something definitely worth mixing in at this price point.
Exactly.
Anything else of the scroll the F down variety, or we'll keep some? You said the Ford one earlier, so I'll add them to the list.
Yeah, I do think that that's like a really, really deep one. Like that's very deep, but I think that there's something there. I think that the Steelers run defense is sus, but if it doesn't work out for Jerome Ford and the Steelers are dominating the Browns, I am into the Steelers run game.
Okay. All right.
So Warren famously announces the starter, according to Brooke Poyer. There were a lot of Steelers beat writers saying that never happened. But regardless, Jaylen Warren is better on film, and they're 50-50 at best in carries. So I think I would probably go Warren over Najee this week, but I think that they're both definitely in play. I mean, rookie QB,
I won't have either, but it's interesting. Okay.
No, man, I'm telling you, dude. But what would really, really, really make this like a more appetizing scenario is if Minkah Fitzpatrick is available, and then that way the defense is like, way more solidified, because it really, to me, hinges on like the game flow, and their defense can really dictate that game flow, because with Broderick Jones at right tackle, like that has, I've said it like 3 weeks in a row, that has completely changed the run game, and you can see it in the way that these guys' stats are accumulating. So maybe I need to wait for more info, but
maybe my issue is I respect the Browns' run defense the way you respect the Bears' run defense.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you almost sold me that pen. You almost did. Go Cards suggesting James Cook in the 6th, the dog bulls. I'm scared of the Jets defense, but I mean, he looks way more talented than Latavius Murray out there. Latavius Murray, literally the oldest running back in football. I don't know. He finds the end zone again last game, and it's just like so tilting because they get down to the red zone with James Cook. James Cook was benched early in the game for the fumble. Then he fumbled again, but it wasn't really on him. It was on Allen. And now we're getting the new OC. Like there's just like so much there to unpack. But then all of a sudden you see him break off whatever it was, a 46-yard run last game. And it's like, why the hell don't they just use this guy all the damn time? Right. So I could see both narratives there. Probably not a guy I'm prioritizing in the 6 person drafts, but in the 12s, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Go Cards. What do you think, Nez?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said there. He's definitely in consideration.
Cool. I'm looking at, dude, Stochastic just updated their rankings for hoops. There is a power forward who has found himself 7th place on the rankings. What is his name? Fuck. He's probably got ADP 22 on the site right now. Something like that.
ADP 22 power forward. Can I get one more hint before we kill more time?
He's playing against a man who's a new father tonight. It's Julius Randle.
Out of all of the updates that could have just taken place, Julius Randle is the update?
Julius Randle is ahead of Sabonis, Durant, Scotty Barnes, Darren Fox, and Devin Booker, and Dame Lillard for them.
Who is the brain genius that put Julius Randle on the cover this morning?
Man, what in the world? Holy.
Dude, I'm telling you. Julius Randle is he's the Tony Pollard. I don't want to say he's Joe Mixon. No one should be considered Jim. He's the Tony Pollard.
Other than Zay Jones now.
Yeah. Of hoops, where he is just like so inefficient, but he's still like kind of getting home, that if he has like a good game, Julius Randle's going for 70.
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I mean, I could never take him over Sabonis. I don't know.
Sabonis, no, I can't take him over Boner, but
yeah. All right, let's do this. Wide receiver position, we both like Tyreek at the top. I think I kind of like Amon-Ra more than Lamb this week for whatever reason, just what I've been doing so far. But I mean, he's having like the equivalent of a legendary season from the wide receiver position for CeeDee Lamb breakout, becoming the guy that we all thought he could as soon as he starts like pumping volume in terms of the pass game, and they've kind of moved away from the run. There's my long-winded way of saying why CeeDee Lamb's good. After this kind of like top 3, I think the next tier is Kupp, and then I'd have Allen if he was fully practicing there, and then I'm kind of off Diggs, but if he falls to like the middle of the second and you're getting some unique combos, absolutely. And you could stack them so easily with Josh Allen if you want to go to that. But that defense and sauce just scares me. And a little bit of weather potentially in that game and in the Broncos game. It's not on the main slate, so it doesn't matter. But a little bit of weather potentially in that game, calling for most likely to snow, but it could be rain, slushy, whatever. But nothing to be too concerned about. Just thought I'd say it. After that, man, I think you can pick whoever the F you want at wide receiver.
You can. And I mean, just to rapid fire some names, I mean, Ayuk, Devontae, Puka,
yep,
Debo,
yep,
Waddle. We had someone in here say like why Waddle, he hasn't done anything. I mean, is he a rookie? Does the dude not have NFL seasons of like productivity under his belt? Like, go ahead and fade Waddle, but like he has productivity under his belt.
He's still one of the fastest players in the league, like period.
Mm-hmm. It's just one comment, but that irked me. Like, come on, yo. We pride ourselves on having people in our comments that don't say things like that. Like, that's just come on, man, come on.
Oh, I respect it. Let's see here. I'm looking at. Okay.
I mentioned Mike Evans as well. Just throw it out there.
Yeah.
DJ Moore with the stack as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun
Um,
slate, man.
Yeah, it definitely is a fun slate. There's a lot of talent back here. I will have some Jags stacks for the funnel aspect. I'll have some Marquise Brown with my Kyler stuff. I will say that Marquise Brown was like an inch and a half away from like a diving 35-yard touchdown that would have flipped his box score last week when he was chalk. And I think people are kind of
Thank
like
you for
just
that.
over Marquise Brown. I I'll go back to the well there. I don't think I'll be touching Amari Cooper this week at all, just with the um, Thompson Robinson stuff. I'm not feeling it. We already took DK. We scrolled the F down and showed you. Nico is great leverage right now. The Thielen one we mentioned earlier as well. Man, is Christian Watson bad at football?
He might have been figured out a little bit. I think he needs to put, but it's like weird. I don't know. Because I think
maybe he's hurt.
What people were saying was that whenever he was like coming into the league, he's like, how can he handle press coverage? Right. Like, is this dude, he's never played against like legitimate cornerbacks. Like, what happens when he gets checked?
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I still think he's just such a sexy wideout that, like, I think it might be a little bit more. I'm going to blame Love a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, Love still, he throws the ball 40 times a game. Love throws the ball 40 times a game, and like Christian Watson does dick. Like, he just doesn't get open. He doesn't catch football. He doesn't take those slants like we saw last year to the house. Like, we were always talking about his burner speed. Like, maybe the injury has hampered him enough that that's just not a part of his game anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's different that defenses are, treating him like you're suggesting now, with like press coverage and bracket coverage, and he's never faced anything like that being the focal point of an offense, right?
Probably has something to do with it. I'll be on his bounce back next season.
Okay. That's fair.
Just making dudes up.
Williamson is better.
Gonna act like Christian Watson didn't have a good rookie season. Come on now.
Anyone else scrolling? Am I scrolling too far here? I bet you Michael Wilson gets some more love on Redacted this week. Dude, Jameson Williams, your boy, dude. He almost tried his very best to have a touchdown last week, and he had a great block that sprung for a touchdown. If they just keeping out Donovan Peoples-Jones, maybe he eventually gets one. I don't think he's worthy of it in the 6-person ones, and maybe it's way too MVS gal brain break the slate mentality. But there is definitely a 60-yard touchdown coming his way in future weeks. I will say that.
I love you for saying that. It means a lot to me and my family that you would say that. 55% of routes last week.
Yep.
That's all. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's something for us to hang our hats on, huh?
Oh man, I mean, I'm waiting for that deep ball. Man, and my family will be eating for days when my advance rate off of advance rates. Hey, here's the advance rates. Can I get food with this? No.
my family will be eating for day, singular.
If JMO catches a touchdown, my advance rates are going to go up like twofold.
I like it. I respect it. We're going to rank Vooch at 21 here. Has Hoops like closed yet?
Nope.
15 doing minutes. The shit 15 minutes. Okay. I gotta do at least 3 more 6 men to get that one out of the way, I think. And then
that's all fine.
Right. Detroit does have too many weapons. You're right. It's just too many mouths to feed in there. Whatever. They scored 41 points or whatever it was, 43 points last game. And it's just like, it could go to anyone. It's kind of like, okay, here's the comp. Detroit Lions, low-key 49ers.
Because Debo's basically a running back.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they just run the ball a lot. 2 running backs that they have to get the ball to, plus Amon-Ra, plus Laporta.
Yeah.
Poor JMO. It's just there's just too many mouths to feed. You put JMO anywhere else, and he's lighting the league up, baby.
Right. Like Amon-Ra is
Sarcasm, folks.
yeah. Well, I like it. I like it. I leaned into it with you. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, fuck the comp. Who cares? Let's draft some teams. Um, we got the tight end rankings here. George Kittle is always going to be tight end one after he has those explosion weeks, and now he's had multiple in a row. He's got a 10, a 19, and a 19. Everyone's clamoring Kittle is back, blah, blah, blah. I will caution people with this Jacksonville one that he beat one safety in this game where a safety, you just jumped a one-on-one route on the outside there, resulted in a 60-yard touchdown that was whatever. The volume's just not going to be there with this offense each week. You know, you're going to have to pick a guy and you're going to have to hone in on that guy. If you want that guy to be Kittle, by all means. I don't see anything in this matchup that says smash Kittle instead of smashing Debo in the last round or Ayuk in the last round or CMC at the front end of drafts. I think I'll be doing the fade Kittle thing like I was doing last week where we basically said we're taking Hawk over him every single time. And it worked out. It worked out. But like that's, you know, just by happenstance, right? I think there are some good scroll tight end stuff or at least fade Kittle stuff.
For sure. For sure. It helps that Kittle is only ADP 19 and not like, 2-3 turn.
Yeah.
That makes a pretty big difference. But yeah, I'm not running to the podium for George Kittle this week, but he represents a ceiling that other tight ends really can't match in the league. Mm-hmm. So that's but also, I mean, it is 100% recency bias.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but that's how it always is with him, right? Like it just seems like that's nobody drafts Kittle and Taysom Hill are similar in terms of like they give you 0 or they give you 1,000,000 and they're very hard to project because of it. And their ADP is very hinging upon what they did for you most recently.
Yep. Very well said.
Comp guy, baby. Comp guy's back.
Out of this world.
Laporta in Chicago, good spot. Trey McBride, this role is otherworldly, especially in like Adam Levitan threw out a tweet with like the last 4 weeks of usage for the tight end position. And that was only one of those weeks has been with Kyler thus far. And last week, I think it was 12 targets. That's what it was. 9 targets, sorry. Okay. 9 targets, 131 yards, no score there. But his last 4 weeks of usage and then his most recent one with Kyler, he is the second most highly utilized tight end in the league outside of TJ Hawkinson, who is not on the slate. So I don't know, man. Maybe everyone loved him last year. And Karain especially was the guy talking him up right at the end of best ball season last year as like a late breakout rookie tight end. Maybe the time's now. Maybe the time is now. And kind of fun because we get like 3 or 4 of these rookie tight ends in this range that might all be going through that breakout mold right now with McBride, Kincaid, and then the Musgrave spot is like kind of nice. Maybe not ready to be lumped in that tier, but just interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because like tight end is gross that like these guys look appealing, but there are some just like emerging fun tight ends, and Trey McBride is one of them in this, with this Arizona team where they're probably going to have to pass a lot against the Texans. So yeah, I'm okay with Trey McBride being tight end 3. I don't know how often I'll get to him, but yeah, he represents a fun click, and like you mentioned, I think Kincaid has a lot of appeal as well. I'm like kind of like in lockstep with this ADP order of tight ends.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily like how early some of them go, but the order I'm totally cool with.
Okay. Yeah. So you're kind of like just comfortable, like, hey, what's going to fall to me? Let's go with what falls to me kind of deal?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Yeah. Side tangent. Did you play any Derek White today now with everybody out?
He's going to be up there in swaps because there's going to be like per lobby like 4 or 5 swaps. So Derek White is part of my swap rankings.
Swap options. Yeah. Levert. I don't know, man. Like this back end just feels like so capped on ceiling. Like Bobby Portis starting good. Like, man, the Jordan Poole game has to be coming eventually, right?
What is a Jordan Poole game exactly?
Fuck me. Yeah, it's so true. What is it anymore?
What does
Pool
that
party,
constitute?
man. Yeah, like I've been working on swaps for the past 50. I'm glad we're all in the same place here. This is the beautiful thing about this community is like, yo, we're talking about football and we're talking about this show. And then it's like, but there's also a slate locking in 10 minutes that we're all doing
Yeah.
swap ranks for.
Yeah, like John, I've got a hard 15.
Yeah. Well, bang out your swap ranks here. And then let me, okay. If anybody wants to draft first my auto drafts, I'm pushing the plane right now in the 6-man for 4 more drafts or 3 more. Oh, never mind. Only had 2 more left. Okay, so I'm in the next 2 6-mans there if you guys want to take my money, and I'll just push the plane on 10 of the hump days right now.
I love that 6-man contest.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I like having a cap in hoops. I'm not gonna lie. Like having a cap feels good.
I agree with you. It kind of it definitely levels the playing field a lot.
Yeah. And being the respectful man that I am actually hitting the plane on every single one of these clicks and not just going Andy botting it, boys.
Wow. Look at you. That's like the old-fashioned hand builder. That's the new age.
It's a man of the people now. We're going to end up with so much Shaden Sharp and D'Angelo Russell, and I'm going to hate myself after this.
For sure. But that's what's fun about hoops is we just do it all over again. We get amnesia right back in these streets the next day.
I did not pack my trunks. I'm not going to lie. I'm out. I'm out. Wow, these lobbies are tough. I just saw the first one and it's just 6 red badges all doing the same thing, like short gamer TV and every single one of them.
Is he in there now? I thought he retired.
No, I wish he retired.
He said he would.
He's just a grinder, dude.
Yeah, you can't. You can never. There's no amount of money that would make me retire. Even if I take down Miami, which I don't know if you know, I'm a contestant for the Miami Live Final. Even
I had no idea.
Even if I take that bad boy down, you can't pull me off the platform.
No, yeah, I respect it. And he scroll the F down at tight end. If you have to do swaps, I can just do drafts. But yeah, Schultze, we're talking here. Ferguson, the usage has just been insane, and they're huge favorites, but they're not really of the scroll variety. I think this Jacksonville pass game is going to get low-key slept on. I'm not sure it funnels through Evan Ingram, but I could see a little Lawrence Ingram stack. But I mean, the nicest thing I can say about that is when Lawrence has that 3 touchdown or 4 touchdown output that came like we saw in the postseason last year, at least it'll be spread around enough that he's not giving points to everyone in front of you. That's one of the back-ended things about a Purdy one is he's giving points to the McCaffrey owner. He's giving points to the Kittle owner. You know what I'm saying here? So at least if you do a skinny stack of that variety, the points are going to trickle through just him kind of deal. We already drafted the Komet one on screen. Like it. Logan Thomas, I mean, what can you say about this guy anymore, man? He just LT3, commands a target share, dude. He commands a target share from Hal, and Hal likes him, right? So
yeah, I'd be interested to see what his pick'em projections are this week because that 3 I felt so sharp hitting that 3.5 last Friday.
Yeah, I think you're pretty smart, dude. That was a good move.
Blind squirrels and nuts and shit like that.
Yes, yeah, yada yada. Yes. We noted the Friar Moose going to be back. Probably not touching that side of the game environment there. I don't really see a huge difference between him and
I don't like Friar Moose. Yeah, as a fantasy option.
Yeah, fair enough. The other ones I will suggest is Michael Mayer is going to be a chalk on Redacted because he's priced down at 2,700 or something like that. He's probably going to be cash game viable. So anytime that happens and he gets steamed in the community, even though it's on a different site, it does push up on our site.
It does trickle, yeah.
So there's definitely some trickle there. So yeah, he's maybe someone you want to get ahead of. Maybe he's not, but just something to be aware of there. And then the Chargers game, if you want to go contrarian path to the Eckler and Allen stuff here, what about Donald Parham? Played really well when Gerald Everett was out. So what if Gerald Everett is out again because he's not practicing this week? Or thus far hasn't practiced. If you get him out, maybe there's a contrarian stack there with QB4 and tight end 16 or whatever he is.
I could be talked into that.
Okay. Yeah. They like him in the red zone, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, this is a team just like in need of pass catchers. So,
let's go ahead and hop in a draft. But I think, Nez, I'm going to throw a freaking curveball here just because we got to keep Neumy2's job alive. And we're gonna hop in a hoops draft real quick.
All right, so let's go. Let's go. You're showing rankings? You cool? You cool?
Yeah,
with that?
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not any good, guys. Don't copy these. Don't do me. Yeah, this is pure sickos time of drafting. We get Bretta James, we get Short Gamer TV, we get RT99. Everyone just chasing the overlay right now and pumping in the latest projections. I have a little bit of these projections or this draft right now. They're not great. I'm not gonna lie. They're kind of a hybrid version of me not actually running my full process and just kind of staring at ETR and stochastic on the right hand side of my screen right now. So if I'd taken a little more time and we weren't streaming, I probably would have come up with something a little better. But yeah.
No, I trust you. Hey John, who's my highest owned player
today?
Uh-huh.
Tyrese Maxey.
I wish. It's Scotty Barnes.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I think that might be better, to be honest.
How much Scotty Barnes have I drafted, percentage wise?
42%.
54.
Wow, it's a Scotty night. You heard it here.
I don't like doing this. I don't like when I do this, but this is what happens whenever I'm I push the button clicker and don't pay attention to what I'm drafting.
I respect it, dude.
It's it's the Bucs narrative.
Yeah, I respect it. It's Bucs guards narrative. It's no Giannis to protect the rim, and it's getting exploitative in a spot that you think's correct in the middle rounds.
And how about the How Rich play from Short Gamer with the game time Embiid just saying
whatever.
Who cares?
Second,
it's only money.
Well, Short Gamer TV, renowned stochastic bro. They still have him projected second in those ranks. So like the day that Short Gamer was in like 1st through 20 or whatever it was on that one slate there, didn't end up holding. It would have been a 6-6 screenshot reminiscent of the RT99 Adam Duvall slate, the infamous, if you sickos have been around long enough for that one.
That was so funny. Not for my bankroll, but just to witness in real time. I mean, that was some crazy shit.
Yeah. Short Gamer TV had one eerily close to that, but he's a big time stochastic bro because you can see it in the guys that he chooses every night. I think if I just had to guess, my highest owned player would probably end up being Donovan Mitchell. We're on the clock here, 106. Nez, I got Scotty Barnes ranked all the way up behind Kevin Durant, but I would take Sabonis and Durant here as of right now. If LeBron didn't have the Q, I think you could make the case for it, but this would be my click. Would you talk me in anything else?
No, I think this is probably the move. I think Sabonis could lock him in for 50. Same with KD, even though KD is in a tougher matchup and got some guys back, but I just play the ADP here since it's probably unique at this point.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Running their projections.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think that the LeBron spot would probably be better than the Durant spot now that Durant has Beal and Booker back tonight. Just in a vacuum would be better, especially maybe a little bit of correlation with the Sabonis there. But I don't want to say I don't think he plays tonight, but like just the LeBron cues just never feel good. The LeBron cues and the Embiid cues just never feel right.
They don't. They don't at all. They feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I have no lean, right? It's like that's why they feel so gross. It's not like, oh, LeBron game time decision, you know what's coming, he's out. Like, no, it's not the case. Dude's legitimately a 50-50 game time decision, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right. LeBron RT99 still taking him at 9 there, and we assume. Oh man, this is funny. He AZ went into auto draft mode, but he had the
Oh
swap ones.
no!
Shaded sharp 101, baby. Let's go.
You're about. You're gonna get all your drafts thrown out. Oh dear Lord, that's rough.
Oh, R.I.P.
Anybody on Dallas draftable for you outside of Luka now that we have no Kyrie?
No, I just don't think there's. I mean, like you used to be able to, talk yourself into like Christian Wood on a given night, or I don't know. No, I don't think so. What about you?
I think THJ, like I can squint and see an outcome where he puts up 40. That's a high scoring game, man, and that's a lot of shots going away.
Yeah, I mean, he's not starting, is he? He doesn't usually start.
Let's see.
I doubt he starts tonight. I mean, probably start Derek Jones and Grant Williams and who's the effing old guy? Can't remember right now.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if they've got any lineups out yet.
You haven't looked yet.
I'll let you know.
I just think there's probably better 6th round guys that you can get on. Like I'd rather play Derek White in the 6th round, or I'm trying to look at the ranks right now. Tobias Harris is never fun or sexy to play, but if you don't get Embiid, he's kind of fine. Austin Reeves, I think
he's fine no matter what, to be honest.
That's fair. Austin Reeves kind of getting slept on. The Chicago and Orlando total is really low, which makes it feel really gross. But Franz or Jalen Suggs, kind of feels okay. Nobody's really going to get there.
No one's really touching Franz.
Yeah.
Looking at the latest run from Stokastic here. Nothing too crazy.
Where do they still have Randall there?
He's still 7th.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Huh.
I wonder
what they're seeing. I wonder what they're seeing, though.
They're seeing what I'm seeing, man. He's X fantasy points.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. Sometimes I just think that the projection models on. Okay, let's be real here. We need, and I say we need, but I would love to build. I'm not sure I'm smart enough, but I think between us and this community and whatever, that we could build real-time updating projections that were underdog specific. That's what we need. Cool. Because I think even though they say they're just raw projection numbers, who do you like here? Brunson, Cat, Kuz, DeJounte.
I think I'm Cat or Brunson.
We just took Ant. That's fine to pair them together. I don't think that's that negatively correlated.
I just think it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that. There you go. Terrence saying that Atlanta gets smashed by Detroit front court.
Not Cade. Maybe that was a Cade game. I'm just so done with it, dude. It's not even funny.
He just turns the ball over so much. Anyways, just kind of back to the thought. Randall's price tag is 8,400 at a position that's tough to fill, even though he has MPE, right? On another site. Or he doesn't have MPE, rather, is what I'm trying to say.
Power forward only.
It's he's powerful only. So it just feels like it factors into their projections without actually factoring into their projections. Whereas if you built underdog specific ones without baking in ADP and then having a filter that you could bake in the, standard deviation, now incorporating ADP, would be very effing cool. And then you could have another way of doing it where it's like leverage off of known ADP and then it updates in tandem with live ADP. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I do
Oh
think
yeah, your
you're
boys
kind of.
thought about this. Your boys thought about this, Nez.
I know. I mean, I've always kind of considered like how do we, make the transition from the salary based games into here, and like how do we what is the proper way to translate that stuff? It's fun to think about.
I mean, even if you funneled like 3 models, right? And we didn't even call it like our models or like whatever, and it was just like hashtag the model, like we always joke about. It
Yeah.
would just be like you pull in stochastic, ETR, and someone else, and then you have like a couple of the sickos behind the screen who like kill these games, right? And you just kind of make this like amalgamation of ranks and then could filter and build via like ADP variants. And like it just the same way you would use a sim that auto shoots you a lineup, it auto shoots you like ranked 150. So like you run like a sim over here for like, 100 and like you just boom, 5 minutes later you have like a CVS, you drag and drop, you draft 15 of them on auto draft, then you fucking drop it off, then you resim it again with like a new news update with a new projection. Dude, we could break the games. Like
it would get ugly really fast, I think.
Yeah, every time. I do this every time, Brett. I've done this every time. CSV and CVS. I always say CVS.
Always CVS for him.
I'm illiterate.
These goddamn man, this hoop slate. Like I mean, we knew it was coming, and yet I still played.
Our emo cowboy's correct. Where the F is the fun in that? Yeah, it's 100% accurate. But I mean, people still play DFS, right? And that's what DFS is. It's just uploading spreadsheets. So it's inevitable that these games reach that point, and it's just whether you live or grow or die alongside them, right?
I know it's a little upsetting to think about, but at least it's becoming more widespread for people to have access to.
God, all right.
What a freaking nightmare.
You're doing your ranks now?
Yeah, and I'm struggling big time. I also did some autoing with like swap ranks, and I mean mine are like ADP adjusted, so that way if there's good value left in a draft, I'll get that person. But 38% Derek White, so looks like I'm all set there.
Yeah, you're set.
Good on anything else there.
Who do you like in this back range here? This is kind of what we were talking about where, Russell just went. I said that I really like Shaden Sharp, and you can see where I have him ranked. But we could do like the Ayton thing. We could do Gobert. Do you like as we used to call him, Cash-ish?
Cassius LeVert, yeah.
You like him?
I do.
Okay, let's do it. Cashing it in. And then who do you like next? Do you like Sharp, Ayton, Gobert, Tobias Harris? Got Beal in here, Portis, Franz.
I kind of like Franz.
Franz?
I've done a little Franz Wagner.
All right, let's get weird with it. Let's do Franz.
Yeah, I'm into him.
All right. He killed me the other night.
Oh, yeah. He kills me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I'm phone shitters till I die too. Even with like the poker stuff, man. Like I'm still old school where it's like all these tools were used for study and they were used for after the fact, right? And then and now it's become like, guys running sims in real time and two computers overlapping one another and just like clicking buttons on behalf of a computer.
Yeah, that's
so
so
it's
disgusting.
like, it's so gross, right? So it's not something I believe in, but like you kind of feel like a peer-to-peer competition should always be peer-to-peer, but it's just the nature of online games and how they evolve. Like people cheat in Fortnite, people cheat in, and we're not suggesting that this is cheating. It's just the evolution of the game. Like,
it's just the edge, I guess you could call it.
Like even if you look at video games, for instance, like I really liked PUBG. If anyone played, Players Unknown Battleground there for a bit. Like, when it first comes out, it's kind of like, the level 1 of understanding versus like, how the game evolves over the next 4 years, where now it's like your barrier to entry is knowing like every single sound and nuance and how far someone is away based on a sound and that sort of thing. And it's like, if you don't have headset, an elite controller, like this stuff, you're dead in the water, man. You may as well not even be playing. And it's not like that's cheating. That's just like, that's the evolution of the game. If you're going to be playing video games on just your standard TV and you're playing Call of Duty with your buddies, like you're getting smoked by those nerd ass kids who are worried about input lag and have the perfect setup and are using the perfect 4K monitor that has 140 or 120 hertz pumping through it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and the gamer chair, of course.
Right? Oh yeah, if you're not running like dead silence in on COD 4, like what are you?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing? Like you're just giving away your KD.
Yeah, exactly. Only got 28 in there. I was able to auto a bunch at the end there. I wasn't drafting much hoops today. I only was going to do the 6-man, but we saw we had some action coming in there. They're late. Had to make way of that. Nez, what do you say we do one of our rake-free contest in the lobbies and then shut it down?
Yeah, that's fair. I need to hit the gym, but I've got time for absolutely a BBB.
Let's do it. A BBB it is. We got one more spot.
We got Cy Young winners too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like officially? Like right now?
Yes.
Okay, let me guess. I think it should be Blake Snell in the NL.
Okay.
I think Garrett Cole is like a really heavy favorite in the AL. I think Cole and Snell would be my guess.
You'd be correct. That is who won.
Yeah.
Good for them. I had a Snell future, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, good for you. That's well done. When did you do it? Preseason or?
It was like a couple weeks into the season whenever like Snell was like striking out but still didn't have good numbers, and he was like plus like 1900, I think 19 to 1. So
look at you, rich boy.
You like that? Yeah, $10 on that shit.
I'm calling you Crash Rich.
I will. Yeah, don't.
Oh man.
Really,
wow, Ghost saying
I missed that.
Passing, he leaked the awards. That's a bad look, man. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Man, I understand that like guys are at live events and live whatever, and they're leaking stuff on Twitter like a little bit before you see it on TV and stuff like that. I understand that, but leaking like a couple weeks out, come on.
Yeah, that's lame, man. At least let people enjoy the shit.
CMC or Tyreek here?
CMC.
Yeah, we gotta stick to our guns, huh?
Always CMC.
We like that San Francisco spot. Hi, Neumy.
Boom.
Hey guys,
what's up?
Figured I'd come in and help out for the last 5 minutes. You know.
Yeah, we could really use it. So is this your way of like coming back on the show since the main slate overlaid? You're just like reintroducing yourself?
Rudman just
because you're fired.
No, Rudman just actually came and picked up my computer. He reimbursed himself because for Miami and everything. So yeah, I'm officially done. I'm back. Let's do it, fellas. back in the lobbies. All right.
That's awesome.
Do we stick to our guns here with the Cooper Cup thing again? It feels like we're building the same team.
It kind of does. Maybe you do little Achan.
We did that last time. Okay, hold on. Let's do Diggs Allen. And see what it looks like.
Have you heard of this new concept? It's really new. It's in the streets. It's like you basically you scroll, and it's in a downward fashion.
Huh. Scroll down.
We are clearly unfamiliar with.
It's the new craze. It's the new craze. This bozo made it up along with like GM or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be legit then.
Oh, 100%.
Guy's got a terrible mustache. Oh, I see. Okay, so it was an accident that he tweeted it out. Got it. Okay. All right. Achan. We got to scroll here. What about the cover boy, Breece Hall? Breece Hall is a run back off of the Buffalo stuff.
That's fun. Yeah, cover boy.
Yeah, let's do that. I think Breece Hall's in a nice spot, and I think he's going to catch passes now. Like, I mean, he did before, but like now he's going to catch like all the passes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tight end, double stack with Kincaid or George Kittle?
I think Kincaid.
What would Liam do?
Oh, God.
WWLD.
What would
right.
Liam do?
For Liam. Hey, you know what? I didn't say this yet, but Neumy, you absolutely effed us yesterday because we had that Monday, that really sharp Kincaid pick 'em in the lobby there at 5.0. And then we clicked submit and it went away and then it went to 5.5. And guess what happened? Dalton Kincaid, 5 receptions.
I'll just say
on the nose.
You got to be quicker than that because there's there are people that watch this and they see when Nessie starts talking they start changing. So
yeah, they don't change the lines when I start. They're like, oh, that's a really good line.
No. When you speak, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is perfect. But then when Nez starts dropping his nuggets, it's like, fuck.
I don't even know anything anyways. They shouldn't even be listening to me. My hit rate sucks.
Keenan Allen with the last pick here feels fine. We can keep scrolling.
Mike Evans.
Where did he go? Mike Evans has a little run back off of the Christian
I like that
McCaffrey
suggestion.
stuff.
I like that suggestion.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now I see he's dealing with a quad issue, and that seems evergreen for Mike Evans and dealing with an injury. So
yeah, dealing with an injury and
issue more than a quad.
Yeah, dealing with an injury and like I feel like Mike Evans is the new I'm down at the inch yard line guy. Like it's crazy, but yeah,
he's like Mike Evans is having like a low-key good year and was like a good pick in BBM now. Like you know what I mean? And he still is breaking your heart every week. Like
it's funny because I just traded him for Tony Redacted in Dynasty because I have like just so many like I took Dynasty in the poach of like 0 RB where I'm like let me get Jamar, CD, Devontae, DK Metcalf, all these boys, and I'm like, okay, Mike Evans is still there, Mike Williams is still there, so I have so many wideouts that I needed to do something. Traded Mike Evans, played him this week, had Tony Pollard. Still won, but it just hurts me. I'm like, wow, this was the dumbest trade ever. I should just start Jalen Warren every week and get my 10 points. But whatever.
Oh no, man,
it hurts. Well, I'm just thinking. I see the schedule coming up. I know the run funnels that these teams are. I like to hope Tony can do something, but yeah, it's just halfback dive every single time with bro. So
yeah. Oh, it's so painful.
It's the worst.
All right, gents. What do we say we wrap it up there with the Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, Mike Evans squad in the rake-free BadgeBros Brawl with the sweetest logo on the site, courtesy of our friends at the Platform of the People, Neumy, Hope, everybody else.
Yeah, and I just want to say, because I wanted to hop on here, and I'll say it real quick, is piggybacking off that rake free is next week. Very, very excited for what's coming. So it'll be on the Underdog Drafts account. We'll be talking about it here. It'll be posted everywhere. But me and the good people, Hope, myself, we've been cooking up some things, and we're very, very excited about geez, my mic is falling here. We're very, very excited for the rake free contest coming next week. So just be on the lookout. And just obviously watch for the contest to be dropped. But it's gonna be really fun.
Amazing. Oh. All right. Rake free stuff. Amazing stuff. Platform giving back to the people. Love it. Do us a favor, guys. Hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, that follow. We'll be residing here for the new future. So something coming here tomorrow, most likely, if it's in tandem or if it's one of us, whatever. I haven't even looked at the hoop slate or anything like that, but at the very least, maybe some Thursday night football or something like that. And then off and on the clock with Pete will be here back on this very channel on Friday as well. That one will be at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 3 Eastern. It's
Nailed
3
it.
Eastern.
It's always such a weird time.
Eastern. Yeah, none of us are in the Eastern time zone, and it's just like
My mic fell all the way down to the ground, so it's like it's why.
You're washed, dude. You're a washed streamer now.
man.
You're just a corporate guy.
I'm a fired guy and a washed streamer. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow. So Neumy, main slate, like no layup lines for Thursday. It's just like let's fucking go.
4-person contest. There's no ADP.
So you don't need to set ADP. Got it.
I'm a noob.
So there's no ADP. Something obviously, with the many other things we'd like to add on the future. That is something that we know and want to have coming. But yes, there'll be no ADP for that.
Thank you for the clarification.
I kind of like no ADP for 2 and 3 gamers.
It is kind
the
of fun,
projections, projections updating throughout the contest and moving players around more so than ADP makes it more fun, I think.
It's definitely fun, but
it adds a different element. But without getting into it, because I know we're 2 hours over, it adds a fun element, which I think we'll talk about tomorrow. But yeah, I 100% agree. So I would just say for anyone that is just doesn't know what we're talking about, take a snapshot of the projections the way they are now. Check the way they are in the morning, and that's how you can see what things have technically updated and changed. So
good shout. Yeah, Dunking Alpha Dark's up there, and as Brett Boy alluded to, the puck stuff.
Puck didn't overlay.
Love to see it. Love to see it. And yeah, swap software is gonna crash tonight. Yeah, from I don't think it's gonna happen, but there are a lot of swaps tonight. If you guys aren't playing on Underdog Fantasy, use promo code MLB at sign up. 100% match deposit up to 100 USD. The subscribe, the follow, notification, and all that good stuff, because we would like to keep coming back and demonstrate our worth via said channel. Any parting words, gentlemen?
See you in the lobbies. Good luck in hoops, and for sure Friday, maybe tomorrow. Who knows?
Sounds good. Wow, when you change, see, this is why I couldn't do it earlier there, Nez. When you try and change to get the other one. I see. Got it.
Holy shit.
Hey, we're good. It's all good. All right. On behalf of Nez, Neumy, myself, everybody's favorite time of the show, good luck tonight. The end. Peace.